Hey guys, this is Hilton here again today with Yellow Sky Actions, and I am going to do a video tutorial on how to make a really dramatic black and white using our actions from our big bundle set for CS3 through CS5. Here's the image we are going to work on today, and this is straight out of the camera, and this is what we are going for. So this is the before and here's the after. Really dramatic, eyes popping, um, sharp, clean, a little bit of warm tone. So here again, before and the after. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how I did it. Pretty long process. We used 7 of our actions. And okay, so the first step, I always start, I told you guys before, but I always start with this time to shine. I love that action. It really brightens it up, sharpens it up. And so here we go. It's time to shine. Takes a few seconds to load. And for some reason, I don't know why, but my computer's been so slow today. It's probably because I've been editing all day. And it needs a little break. All right, there you go. It's time to shine. And what we're going to do is we're going to go within this layer, this action, and we're going to go to the shine sharp layer. We're going to highlight it, and we're going to drag the opacity to 50%. Once we do that, we're going to click on this layer mask on the shine sharp, and we're going to make sure the foreground's black and paint off this sharp in the background. And it's really subtle, you know. It's something that the eye doesn't. It's hard to explain. It sees it, but it sees it subconsciously. And so I'm gonna brush it off this guy right here. And our goal is for your eye to go straight to her face, from her hand up to her face. That's our focal point. Okay, so once I've done that, I'm going to click off this shine sharp layer, and I'm going to go up to the whole action layer, and I'm going to drag that down to 55%. And the reason why I did that, and the reason why I clicked off this layer is because I don't want the shine sharp to be affected. If I'd have done that without clicking off the shine sharp, it would have dropped the shine sharp down, and I want to keep that at 50%. Okay, so the next step, we are going to run a black and white action called Bubble Champagne. Again, takes a few seconds to load. And this usually runs a lot faster. It's just my computer has been taking a beating. I've edited over 10 weddings in the past 7 days, so it's pretty worn out. Okay, we're in the bubble champagne action. Again, we're going to go within this layer and we're going to tweak it up. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to, here it is, and we're going to drop the opacity to 17%. Next step, we're going to the curves, and we're going to drop this layer to 10%, and immediately that's going to brighten up. Next step, we're going to take this layer off to give it more, to brighten it up more. And then once we do that, we're going to the sizzling black and white layer, and we're going to drop that to 20%. And basically what the sizzling black and white layer is, it's a smoothing layer. All right. Once we've done that, the next step we are going to do is we are going to go to our color set, and we are going to run Orange-astic to give it a little bit more tone. Okay, that's too much. Pretty cool look though, a little blown out, but it's too much. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop it down to 30%. Make sure this layer mask is clicked. And what we're going to do next is we're going to wipe off the Orange-astic off her face, her arms, all her skin. And the reason why we're going to do that, and we're going to do that around 40% brush opacity. And the reason why we're going to do that is, again, I want your eye or the viewer's eye to be drawn to the focal point, which is her face, her beautiful face, and her hand, which leads up to her face. Everything is about, it's all subconscious emotion. And when people go to your site, your photography site, they're not going to notice the stuff that you've done, consciously, if that makes sense. They're not going to notice stuff that, that you've done. They're just going to see something, and it's going to, trigger an emotion. And you want that emotion to be, oh, wow. So this is why I'm brushing this off. We're doing it off the hand, the arms, even his hand. Her hair. Okay, so once we've done that, the next step is we're going to go to the Essentials set, and we're going to click on Control That Pop. All right, this is a brush action. We've talked about this before. It's if you've seen any of my video tutorials before, but if you haven't, it's this is a black mask, and whenever the black mask is on, you just select it and you make sure this foreground layer is white so you can paint on this action. Go to the brush. We're going to paint on around 25%. And immediately it really brings out, her face. And that's a little much, but the reason why I'm brushing on this hand and her face at the same time, and not her body in the back, or this arm, or his hand, or even right here, is because her hand and her face are at the same focal plane. And you want whatever's at the same focal plane to be sharp, crisp. That way your eye is drawn to it and not to the background. So that's what we're doing. We're going to lower the opacity of this layer just a little bit. We're going to, let's say 85%, because it's just a little much. And that's looking great right there. The next step, we're going to go to dodge it, burn it. We're going to run this action, and it's a brush action again. So the black mask, we're going to click on the dodge it layer, black mask, white foreground, brush, and we are going to the brush opacity has to be at 20%, or 18, or 25, whatever you prefer. And what we're going to do is we are going to zoom in, and we are going to really brighten those eyes so it really pops. Even the whites. I mean, you want your eye, the viewer's eye, to go straight to that image, to her eyes, to her face. And this is why we're doing that. and it's stunning. So, all right, that's looking good. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to run Iris Pop, which is also an essential set, and it's another brush. Takes a few seconds to load. Okay, it's black mask, white foreground, and we are going to run it at 25% brush opacity. Make the brush a little smaller, and you can always zoom in and really hit those details in here. We want to, brighten these whites up in here, and make sure you keep the blacks black around here to give it that contrast. That's looking good. So we're going to zoom out just to see how this looks. And I mean, I think it looks great. It may be a little too much pop in the eyes for your taste. It is a little bit on my, little too much on my end. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drop this layer opacity to around 75%. Take it down just a tad, and that's right on for me. Now the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to run an action called Soft Brush, which is a brush in the Essential set, and what it does is it's meant to really soften the background. So what we're going to do is I'm going to make sure that this brush opacity is at 100. The white foreground selected, the brush, and we are just going to paint on this soft on the background, and it's really subtle. We're going to make sure we want this area right here in her hand to really pop out at us. So we're going to even brush the arm right in here, in this area, down here, over the knee, even his shirt. And it's so subtle, it's hard to see it, but it's there. And so what we're going to do is we're going to run that twice. This time, we're just going to brush the far end of the background right in here, even his hand, but we are not going to brush over the arm or her chest, or we'll even hit this area right here, around this area, even the edges. And the reason why we're doing that, take this off this. The reason why I've done that is I want dimension, and photos, it's always about the composition, the dimension, the tone, the way you use your actions, and this really gives it dimension. Blurring this is a little bit blurred, but this is a little bit more blurred. That way, your eye goes straight to her beautiful face, and it really gets a reaction out of the audience that's viewing your work. So that's it, guys. Again, here's the before and then the after. It's very dramatic. Hope this helps, guys. Let me know if you guys have any questions. We love helping our awesome photographers out, and we can't wait for you guys. We always love before and afters on our wall, so feel free to do that. You guys have a happy new year, and I'll see you.